Looks like we're live here. All right,
Hey, hey,
everybody.
hey.
I'm just gonna pretend that we're streaming just fine here. Um, Welcome to today's update roundup, May 2022. I'm here at home, and Kevin, you may want to share where you're at.
I'm in the mountains of Pyeongchang, South Korea, which is where the Olympics were 4 years ago. So, little tidbit
That's
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us live. We do this every month. We go through what we've just launched, and what's coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to jump right into it. I think everybody knows the typical routine here. So, um, all right, let me just get to the slides here. I know I got it pulled up here. Excuse me. All right. So thank you again for all the community, the support, the feedback that we've been getting. It's been really helpful. And all you guys that are joining our events that are happening. Since we deployed that little message on the bottom right of the app, it's been really cool to see a lot more of you guys attending the live events. So hopefully that's been helping. Um, yeah. So thank you very much. Hey Ed, how's it going? It's nice to see you
Hey,
here.
Ed.
Uh, Ed's always a great supporter. So awesome. All right, let's go on here. Let's talk about our latest updates. We actually mentioned these within the app last week. We recorded some videos on how this all sort of works. Kevin, you want to get into the nitty gritty with these things?
Sure. Yeah. So, we've got a couple new placeholders for your docs. So, for those of you who are doing portfolio offer letters where you have multiple properties that you're mailing to an owner about. So you can now list each individual property in your offer. So you can say, you could even split out each offer price and say, "I will give you $1,000 for property A, 2,000 for property B, 3,000 for property C." So you can really customize how those things work, and yeah, and then when you're generating your documents for a specific property, we now give you a lot more flexibility. So number one, we give you the option to just add additional properties to generate more placeholders for.
Maybe I'll quickly share my screen here as well.
Okay, sure,
Let me get
sure,
this
sure.
up. Sorry. Oh, what did I do here? Sorry guys. 1 second. I'll bring you to the right screen here. Cool. So we're looking at an account here. So if I'm generating a document, sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
Sorry, the wind is a little loud here. So
No, you're good.
so yeah, so when if you go into a
How about we go into a
one of
property
those,
here? This is probably not the best example account here, but
yeah,
I'll generate a document from one of these accounts or these properties here.
yep.
Okay, so we'll generate a document. Let's just use whatever this Pebble template is.
Yeah, so now you can add additional properties if, say, you're generating this document not just for this property, but you've got two other properties you want to generate for, or however many. Because oftentimes we're sending contracts that say, this property plus this property. And so that allows you to add additional properties there. And then you can also, if this document had seller or buyer contacts in there, so like signature lines, you'd be able
Yes.
to quickly add additional contacts as well. And furthermore, that area on the right side is now fully editable by you. Before, you were sort of stuck with the placeholders that we had. And so this caused a lot of problems if you wanted to just tweak one little thing inside the document. Maybe you wanted to remove a line item from a purchase agreement, or you want to just quickly change a date. You were sort of stuck with your placeholders. Now you can go in here and just totally edit things. So we will use your placeholders to sort of get everything as close as we can to your final document, but then
Yeah.
you can go in here and tweak things as necessary. And that just gives a lot of flexibility with making everything work there. So.
Yep. Awesome. All right, I'm going to bring it back to our other screen here. Hey Mel, see your questions there. We'll get to that. So the other one is multiple contacts per lead. I won't pull that up, but now we have the ability for on the the seller and the buyer side to add multiple contacts associated with that lead.
Yep. So you can imagine like a husband and wife, you want to add them both to your seller or buyer contacts. You can do that.
We just talked about on the fly document editing. So as Kevin was mentioning, when you generate a document, if you need to make that tweak, you don't have to, use placeholders or go back and manipulate the actual template. You can actually make those tweaks specifically for that one document that you're generating. All right, and there's a bunch of videos on our knowledge base and on our YouTube if you want to check it out as well. That we just recently released about these changes, and it kind of can break these down a little bit further. So I'm going to actually bring this up here, and it's kind of embarrassing to share my YouTube. You're going to see all my weird stuff in here, but you can see under uploads here, you'll be able to find some of the newer videos here. Like here we go, the new Pebble updates. You can see that. What else do we have here?
If you go to
generating and mailing documents here. So you'll be able to find those here. Now that was also presented to you guys on the little message on the corner of the app. So make sure you do check those and read it. I know a lot of people just end up quickly closing it. So do have a look at what we do end up posting there. All right. So what's coming up ahead here, Kevin?
Yeah. So property data entry. So for the process of when you're getting a property in, you get a lead in, and you need to run through your due diligence process. Typically, you'll open up that property screen and you'll start filling out things. Just pull data from the county or go check Google Maps and start filling in things. And right now, you're sort of so we have the ability to see all of your custom fields separated by sort of tabs. So you click into each tab and change those, view those sections of custom fields, and then edit them. We're now going to basically show you all your custom fields on the page at one time. So everything will be visible. You'll just scroll down to see all of the sections that you have available, and then you can quickly go in and edit those without having to tab through things. So we think that that'll just provide a little bit more at a glance viewing of your data and also editing those things. So just trying to streamline things and remove unnecessary clicks and just make Pebble super fast for you guys to get in there and enter your data.
The next one here, the full windowed envelope. So I know I've been talking about this last couple of months, but I want to be as transparent as possible about this. So there has been delay after delay. Namely with the on the technical side of the API connection, I'm assuming, not assuming, but with Postcard Mania, it's finally ready. So we're now working on not the actual feature, but now we're working on being able to push that over to allow for windowed envelopes. So I am very excited about this. I've seen mailers for this. So the fact that now we can even present a map of a property right on that envelope is going to be hugely personalized. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that is going to be our first window. That is going to be first envelope option. We've also got another one coming out after that. So we'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards, but we need to get that done first. Instant address validation. Do you want to talk about that, Kevin?
Yeah. So this is a change we requested from our partner over at Postcard Mania. So right now, when you submit a mailing, it goes into what we call the submitted state. So like if you check your campaigns, if you're doing like daily send counts where you're sending batches of your campaign every night, if you log in like the next day, you'll see, say you had 100 go out, there'll be 100 and it'll be blue and they'll say submitted. And that's because currently we have to submit it, and then we have to wait until Postcard Mania actually processes that batch before we know if your addresses were valid. So you'll see 100 submitted, and then you check a day later, and then you'll see that maybe we sent 95 and 5 of them failed because they were invalid addresses. Now, everything will just be automatically happen instantly. So as soon as you send that batch of 100, you'll be able to log in and you'll see the 95 succeeded and 5 failed. You don't have to wait like till the batch actually gets mailed to see that. So it should just make things a little bit clearer and easier on our end as well.
Postcard design. So we're continuing to add postcard design. We just launched another design today. It's got a map view and this ripped note with sticky tape stuck on there. It's a pretty cool design, but we're going to now, we've got a rhythm now of getting new templates in the system. So do continue to look out for that. So we're trying to aim for a number of new templates every month. We're still sort of getting that streamlined, but that is the goal here. We just launched another one today, so do check that out. And lastly, we are going through a big rebranding, restructuring here at RIA Conversion. We are becoming Pebble, so we're going to have a new URL. It hasn't been set up yet, but there's a lot of changes that we're handling on the homepage, a lot of our resources. A lot of you guys attend those webinars, those kind of things. There's a lot of migration that we have to do. We're going to be moving over to pebblerei.com. It isn't ready yet, but we will be working on that. And then there's going to be, like I said, a huge redesign going along with that. So that being said, let's jump right into things. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just to clarify there, the long and short of it is reiconversion.com will redirect to pebblerei.com, and everything will be available there. So there'll be no changes in terms of your workflow. You'll basically just switch your bookmark or however you want to do that, and everything will continue over at pebblerei.com.
All right, so let's jump into questions and answers here, guys. Mal, let's start off. I know that we've been talking. We're probably going to be in conversation with you shortly here. I think you mentioned some of these things, like when having multiple properties, it takes up too much space on the page and leads to another page. Yeah. So currently, the legal description, yes, it will do that. The APNs will actually list out, but if you have legal description, it will sort of take up quite a bit of room. That's something we'll address and have a look at down the road for sure.
Yeah, and there's whenever you're dealing with PDF documents, you just have to be careful with how much content is on that page. If you're trying to squeeze everything onto that, really only get 2/3 of a page to deal with because of the address there at the top. So you just sort of have to tweak things to make sure that everything fits. Of course, if it does lead onto a second page, we will just print you another page and send that out as well. So you won't lose anything in terms of talking to your customers. But yes, it will. You just sort of have to be careful in those situations, and we'll help you out with that as much as we can.
Ed here asks, when rewriting an offer, you need to email it. When rewriting an offer and you need to email it, how do you do it without having to mail it? Also, it will not let me get the file.
File. Jesse, can you pull up do you still have that document pulled up?
Yeah, let me see if I have it somewhere. Yep. Well, one sec.
So if we go ahead and generate that document, I can show you, Ed, where you can download that.
Yeah. So
go ahead and just click save. And then then you'll get the final PDF. And on the PDF viewer there, up in the top right corner, there's a little download icon. Now, depending on which browser you're using, you might see a different icon there. But that is what it is. If you're using Firefox, I think it might be on the left side, or Safari puts it somewhere else. So it's just right in there is where you download that.
Yeah.
And also, I believe you can right-click on the actual file and click Save As.
Save As. Yeah. You can't see it right now, I'm right clicking, and you do have a save as option. I don't know why it doesn't show
Mhm.
up on the screen share.
Yep.
Okay, to download it until after I approve it to mail, and then I can download the PDF. Oh, sorry, there's a continuation here. How do you do that without having to mail it? Also, it will not let me get the file to download until after I approve it to mail, and then I can download the PDF to email it.
I think
Yeah, you
I
don't
think
actually.
we
Yeah,
I
kind
think we
of
covered it. You can
yeah,
download it right from this
from
screen, so you
here.
don't have
Yeah,
to mail it before you download.
yeah. Oh, okay. We got this message here. Perfect, Ed. Thanks very much. Awesome. I'm going to stop the screen share, guys. That pretty much wraps up our update roundup here. If you guys have any other questions, you know how to reach out to us inside of our Slack community and email. If you are brand new to hearing about Pebble and want to learn more, feel free to head over to reiconversion.com/Pebble or just reiconversion.com. There is a book demo button at the top. It is with me, so it'd be nice to kind of get to know you, understand you. So feel free to hop on a call with me. Other than that, guys, thanks very much. Oh, we got one other question here. Let's not miss this here. Joey asks, is there a way to mail merge all the mailers to mail on our own, or is that in the works? Yeah, so we do have a way of, we don't actually mail the mail merge for you guys. So we have a full-on article on this, Joey, where if you want to use your own mail house, simply you're going to bring in your mailers to Pebble, then export it out with that mailer code. So then you can do the mailing merge on your end, because the documents, you'll be using your own offline documents to do the mail merge and then get that out to whichever printing press. Now, some printing press require a PDF, some printing press require the file, some printing press uses their own editor. So we're leaving it just open-ended for you to figure out how you want to do that. We've got a great article on that if you go to kb.reiconversion.com. And then if you just search mail with my own mail house or something like that, or mail with my own print and mail house, you should be able to bring up that video. It's also on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. I will say though,
Uh,
if you want to avoid the hassle, you can just mail with Pebble. It might be a cent or
yeah,
two more per piece, but
yeah.
personally, I save an hour by doing it that way, and that pays for a lot of mail. So,
I mean, the other thing here, we can talk about the mailing. I mean, there's so much that we do here. Be able to merge the maps images, be able to image merge. Tracking is all handled. Daily drip is really important for so many people, especially that have a full-time job or doing something else and want to get out mailing. Well, there needs to be some sort of predictable flow with your mailing. You can't just send out 500, 1,000 and expect you can just pick up calls while you're at work, and you're going to drop a lot of leads that way. So, having that predictability in your pipeline is so important for our users. Again, our end goal here is to scale, right? So predictability allows for processes, right? If you can have some processes in your daily workflow, then you can actually start thinking about scaling a business. Last question here. Just joining. Is the recording going to be available always? These are always available on our YouTube channel. So I feel like such a YouTuber for saying that, but subscribe, hit that bell so you do get
smash
alerted when
that
we're
like
live.
icon.
So yes, all our videos are always going to be, we're really active on YouTube. Also, Instagram as well. There's a lot of stuff that I'll go live that I don't publish anywhere else other than Instagram, sometimes on TikTok too. So if you find us on REI Conversion on Instagram, please do follow us. I'll be posting something up there tomorrow. So we are pretty active on the social feeds as well. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Kevin, thanks for joining us on the mountains there out in South Korea.
Beautiful mountain day today, I tell you.
Exactly. Guys, thanks again for joining us this month. You know where we're at, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.